What have I done here? You can shut up. I think we've got it working. I don't know how good this is going to be. You'll have to let me know in the comments. Woo! I see you as well. I'd say I don't know if it's going to work very well. I'm using my phone as a hotspot, and it looks very jittery on my screen here. And I can't be doing with that if that does that all night long, and I don't suppose you lot will either. Yeah, it don't look great. I don't know. You'll have to tell me if it's like jittery and all sorts of. Is it really stuttery? Yo, Ollie. I think we've got it working. I don't know how good this is going to be. Yeah. You'll have to let me know in the comments. I don't know. I've been through all the settings and I've upped the bit rates and messed about, but I'm on 4G on my phone, but I'm running all through the computer and the thing. I might have to just end up sticking it on my phone, doing it on my phone instead. And I can't be doing with that if that does that all night long. And I don't suppose you lot will. You can probably hear myself now. Yeah, so I don't know if it's going to get any better than this, to be honest. So let me put this other camera on and see if that's jittery, or if it's just because I'm using this big camera. It's frozen together now. Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? Obviously, indoors we've got over 1 gig download and almost the same upload, and it's the upload speed I need. Slideshow. Yeah, let me just put this other camera on. I think it's that one. See if that camera does the same. Is that really jittery, or is that... Not that it's going to be any good, but I just want to see if that camera's jittery or not. Am I going... Cool hat, Quicksilver. Looks like that camera's jittery as well. Oh, balls. I was really hoping that we'd crack this internet lark up in the garage. Obviously, when I'm using my phone, let me go back to the other camera. If I'm just using my phone and I'm doing internet stuff on my phone, it's fine. We get 125 download, and when I just did a speed check, I was getting 18 upload. But I don't think it's going to be quick enough for this computer. So I've just got my laptop here, and oh, that's saying excellent connection, but oh, I don't know. I'm not really all technical savvy with all this stuff, but I do like to use my main camera because it's a good camera, and I don't know. I don't think I can get any faster on my phone. So it's on 4G and that's it. Does the signal strength make much difference? I don't know. Should I put the phone nearer the door? I don't know. But when I'm looking at this YouTube thing, it's a bit pixelated. I don't know what it looks like on the actual thing. Let me just have a look. Yeah, it doesn't look great. I don't know. You have to tell me if it's like jittery and all sorts of. It's crap, isn't it? Is it really stuttery? Stick to fixing the cars. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a disaster then, isn't it? So I wouldn't want to watch this sort of thing on the internet. So I don't know if I can take over on my phone. or if I'd have to start on do a new live stream. Wonder if I can do that. Do you think I should try that? Try doing a live stream on my phone instead. Let me know what you think. If you want me to sit up here and talk bollocks for a bit, then I will. I'll shut this one down and I'll open up another one on my phone. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, it's a bit of a... Yeah, alright Tina, alright. I think I've got the picture. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame really, because I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to stick my phone in the door hole and see if it makes any difference. So I will be right back. Is it this one? So I've put my phone in the door hole. It doesn't look like it's any better, to be honest. It's still saying that the bit rate, the stream's current bit rate, is lower than the recommended bit rate. Well, I can't do anything about that. Oh, video tomato, such. It's even worse. It's even bloody worse. What a disaster. I'll tell you what, I'll go and get my phone and I'll put it back where it was, because it's made no difference. It says I've still got a good signal, but what can I do? What can I do? Right, hang on. I'll be back in a mo. We're back again. You'll wonder what all the cable's for. It's just it's on charge, because I don't know how much power the phone's going to use. It's a bit annoying really, because I thought we'd cracked it. I thought, yeah, we can do some live streaming up in the garage. Obviously we can't, can we? What is our bit rate? I mean, that's up to 5,000 now, so that should be all right. I did say that we might end up with some technical difficulties. I might, yeah, well, I've tried lowering the video quality. Let me just try it again. I'll see if I can alter the settings. But it says it needs, where are we? Output. I'm on OBS Studio. So let's lower it down. Let's lower it down to, I don't know, how many kbps? I've got no idea. I'm going to lower it down to 2,000. Oh no, what have I done? I'm still going. See if that makes any difference. Apply. Okay. Right. I've lowered the bitrate on OBS Studio. Whether that makes a blind bit of difference, I do not know. It looks like it's frozen up now. Oh. Anyway, yeah, I'll give it a couple more minutes. If I can't figure something out, I might just shut all this lot down and live stream on my phone. It's technology, innit? You think you've got it cracked. I did all my research the other day and, you know, tried to find out what speeds I needed for live streaming. It's obviously not great, but obviously if I do it from my phone, I can do it direct to YouTube. Oh, is it working now? Are we all hunky-dory and not jittering about all over the place? Let me know in the comments. Tina, everyone says it seems better. It's a 2 thumbs up. Whee! Well, we might have cracked it then. Perhaps I was putting out too much bitrate. I've cranked it right down to 2000 kbps, whatever that is. Is that kilobytes per second? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so we're up in the garage. This is our very first live stream in Ben's garage. There's not much going on in it. We've had a bit of a sort out. You will notice a bit of racking over there. We've got all the camping gear stacked in the corner. Obviously, we used the old camping gear at the start of the month with our little trip away. I did put a video out of that, and if you follow us on, you're a cheeky twat, Ollie. Yeah, I did put a video out of our little trip to Spain at the beginning of the month. I'm glad we went at the beginning of the month, beginning of June, not the beginning of the month, because obviously we're in July now. Bloody hell, where's time going? Anyway, yeah, we had a cracking time. Planning for next year now. I think we're going to go to the other side of Spain. So obviously we went down sort of a place called Sort, which is about an hour and a half from Andorra, just down. We did have a little bit of an issue with the old car. I think I might have sorted it out. I did put out a video for that. Yeah, it was last month, Tina. Thanks for that. Well remembered. What are we on? 6th of July already. Christ. Obviously, in France, all the kids are on school holidays now. So I think they go back at the start of September. So they get a bit of time off. Lucky bastards. Yeah, the end of June here was so bloody hot. I'm glad we didn't go to Spain at the end of June. I'm glad we went at the start of June. And then I was also reading when we got back that sort of like from the 20th of June onwards, a lot of off-road trails in Spain, they reclassify them as forestry trails to stop people driving up them for, you know, throughout the summer. And that is for stopping forest fires and all that sort of thing. I think that you can still get on some off-road trails. Dry it up a little bit here. I've had a whole bottle of cider with dinner tonight. Don't worry, it wasn't strong. They do a really nice fruity cider up at the supermarket. It's only 2.5%. But yeah, I opened it up, went absolutely everywhere, all over the table. And then I finished it off with dinner. So yeah, that was over on that side of Spain. Quite high up in the mountains. I think one of them we went up was about 2,500 metres. Don't know what that is in feet for any of you over there. But obviously when the car got over 2,000 metres, we started getting restricted performance. And I plugged the old gap tool in. It was P023-22D, which is I can't remember what actually, absolute manifold pressure or something. I was thinking, oh, boost leak, and we did find a boost leak when we got back to the campsite. We got the old soapy water out. My brother popped the engine cover off, sprinkled the old soapy water about. So yeah, we did make a good mechanic out of you, Ollie. found bubbles coming out of one of the elbow joints that go down to the inlet manifold. Tightened all that up. Thought we'd cracked it. The next day we went out off-roading, and we was going for quite a long time, and all of a sudden, bong! Restricted performance, bastard. Anyway, put the old gap tool on, same fault. But the trouble is, when you're off-roading, and I didn't think about this until I might have mentioned it in the video where I did about the restricted performance. We was obviously in low range with the suspension up top floor. When it goes into restricted performance, the suspension drops. But I wonder if I'd had the terrain response switched round to a special program, whether it would still have done that, whether it thought I was on the road somewhere. Next year, if we go, when we go next year, if we get high up and it does it again, I'll try that. But you can still drive it. In restricted performance, you don't get your revs. I did find that if you just sort of tickle the throttle, you can keep rolling, and you do still have a little bit of power for getting up hills, especially if you put it in low range. But when you start putting your foot down on the throttle more, it just says, no, not having it, and it won't even rev up or do anything after that, so then you've got to switch it off, start again. So yeah, you can still travel in restricted performance. Obviously, different faults are more severe than others. But yeah, I was just a bit, and at one point we did sort of twat the bumper. We went right up to the top of, I can't remember what it was called now, but it was bloody high up and it was bleak up there. There is some pictures of it on the video and obviously social media and that. I can't remember what it's bloody called. Anyway, we went up and there's like a big sort of station up there with like antennas and stuff all over it. So the trail actually goes up round the building, does a big loop at the top of the mountain and comes back to join the track to go back down. Well, coming back down round the loop back to join the track, there was a big ditch and it sort of came right down. Someone had put like boulders in this ditch, but because the suspension had dropped down, we twatted the bloody front bumper on the floor and it stopped with a bit of a jolt. So we had to just reverse up, go at an angle and then manoeuvre when we got on the flat. But then when we come down 2,000 metres and below, switched the car off, reset it, drove fine. So something to do with the air pressure at about 2,000 metres. Anyone, someone out there might be able to tell. Oh, Biker 80's on. Good evening, Biker 80. Just saw you pop up. You made it home in time then. So yeah, someone a bit more intelligent than me might be able to explain how the air pressure had affected the car. But I did find when we got home, I thought all the videos on YouTube and that say check your map sensors. On the 3.6 VD8 you got two map sensors, one for each bank. Took them both out. They weren't very dirty, but I gave them a clean anyway. But I did notice that one of the screws was longer than the other, and so one sensor wasn't pulled down tight into the hole. Now I've seen other people looking at their map sensors and they seemed a little bit loose, but obviously one's tight and one isn't. So like an idiot, I should have put that one back in with that screw and then put the smoke on it. I did the smoke, nothing else came out anywhere. I'm coming back in a bit though, Tina. Bloody hell. So yeah, I've put some washers on that screw and that's pulled down tight now in the hole. It has got like a little O-ring on it, but I just wonder if because it was loose, whether a bit of boost pressure could get out of that. Anyway, fixed that, put some washers on it, tightened it down, and put the old gap tool on, done all live readings, they both going up together, boost pressure, manifold pressure's the same, actuators, sensors exactly the same. So yeah, I just need to pop down to Spain now, go up into the mountains and try it and see if I've fixed it. If not, I don't know. We'll have to trade it in or something. No, don't say that. What is all this? Gang up on Ben night? I'm not staying up in the garage. I thought it'd be nice to come up in the garage and have a live stream from up here for a change, because we're always doing it at home. If I do it in the kitchen, Tina moans her arse off that I'm in the way and I have to set up, and I've got wires and lights and God knows what everywhere. So I thought I'll come up to the garage today. We've got internet on the phone, where it's there, yeah. Internet on the phone. I can use it as a hotspot. Now I've got it working on the thing properly. Woohoo! Woo! Yeah. So I thought I'd do the nice thing. I'll come up here and do a live stream. Got lights on the bench. You can see the bench. It's what camera's the bench on? That one. Yeah, pop over, Ollie. We'll have a shoot down there. Just drive over the mountains, or we could go across to the Alps. Get up to 2,500 metres or whatever, or higher, and see if it does it again. Yeah, be alright, won't it? Nice little ride out. You know, if we're just driving over the mountains and turning around and coming back again, I won't bother swapping the wheels over. Oh, look. Right, so I've got this camera on. Can you still hear me as well as when I've got the other camera on? Because I've tried messing about. I'm using the Pro Audio on the big camera, but this is just like my little action cam. I'll go back to the other one because it's... Yeah. So, empty mug needs fixing. Well, yeah, Tina, empty mug needs fixing. I will be pissing all night, but that's another story. Now, obviously, Tina's replied to that. Now, is she replying to, yes, let's go for another road trip, or is she going to refill my cuppa? I don't know. There you go. What, she's getting excited that I'm going away on a little road trip? I don't know what you lot are trying to say. Is she trying to get rid of me or something? So yeah, next year, I'm loosely doing some plans for next year. We're going to... Yeah, I ain't got no water, tea bags or milk. It's all very well having a kettle and some gas. Yeah, next year we're planning to go to the other side of Spain. There are some mountains. We've got to drive over the mountains to get there, but I don't think they're quite as high as over the other, on like the east side. So I want to check out Bardenas Reales and all around that area, and then hopefully find some off-roading. And I found a disabled-friendly campsite, so that should hopefully be a bit of a Brucey bonus. See what I've got to put up with? Not my problem. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. I don't know. Anyway. I don't really know what I was going to talk about tonight. I did have a... I don't know what's going on with this computer. Got comments coming and comments going. Yeah, I did have a list of things that I was going to talk about, but I don't really know what I'm going to talk about now, so I'll probably just end up... that means going to the UK, Gary. I'm not sure as I want to do that. I'm a wanted man, don't you know? I'm not, but the thought of going back to the UK sends a shiver down my spine. No. I've got some videos coming up. We have actually filmed, fitted new tracks on the digger the other day. So yeah, I've decided that we've put them on the wrong way round. So yeah, that'll be another job at a later date, is to take those tracks back off and put them the other way around. Also, let me just get something. I shall be straight back. And he's back. I've done a video on this. Moo car. This is a professional automotive diagnostic tool. I said I fitted them incorrectly, Tina. Don't worry. I will take full responsibility. But I might need your help to swap them around. Yeah, so I did a video on this. Another bloody scan tool. I know. It's quite a good one. Now, when we do fit the tracks, because obviously the old tracks used to come off quite a lot. If I'm going through they came off in the woods, and Tina had gone back to the house. I didn't have my phone on me. Normally, I can hear it. It sort of goes clonk, and the digger sort of jumps to the side, and you think, oh, well, it's just popped off one end. So normally, I can, with the sticks, manoeuvre it, and it'll pop back on again. This time, it wouldn't do that, and every time I tried, it was getting further and further away. And I thought, do you know what? This ain't happening, is it? So the track came completely off. I was stuck in the woods right over to the other side of the garden. So I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll pick the track up, throw it with the digger, and then I'll have to swing the digger around, lift up one side, move the digger up a little bit with one track, and then just keep walking it out like that. It took me probably 3/4 of an hour to get back. And then Tina stuck her head out the back door. She thought I was messing about with something, I think. She came over to see what I was doing. She said, oh, that's the track. Oh, shit. Yeah, so we actually splashed out, bought a pair of tracks and 2 fuel filter housings. You know, it's got 2 fuel filters. So you've got like a pre-filter, which comes directly out of the tank, and then that goes up into the actual fuel filter housing. The pre-filter has got a tap on it. That's always leaking, so you have to turn it off when you're not using it. Otherwise, you have a big puddle of diesel on the floor the next day. And then the other one's held together with cable ties. I think the previous owner was a bit of a pillock, to be honest. So yeah, close to €1,000, and the digger still won't be fixed after that. I've got some seals. I've got a whole seal kit there. What do they call it? It's not the dipper ram. It's the bucket ram. So you've got like the boom. So the boom ram's the one at the bottom, which lifts the whole boom up and down. Then you've got the next one up, which does the arm in and out. And then you've got the dipper ram, which does the bucket. So it's the next one up. It's not the boom ram, it's the next one. I think they call it the bucket ram. I don't know. That's leaking, so I've got to change. I've got all the seal kit for that, so I'll do that. And then there's still more jobs to do on it, but it's working. So yeah, we put the brand new tracks on it. I was just manoeuvring it to go and do some digging. Pop! Off it comes. Oh shit. I'm like, why has the new track started popping off? I'm thinking, oh, we're going to have to spend out more money now on other bits, but I think it just wasn't tight enough. It probably settled a bit overnight or whatever as we'd moved it in and out, this, that and the other. But then I've sort of decided that they're the wrong way round. Obviously, the dozer blade is at the front, and I've got the tracks going like that towards the dozer blade, and I think they need to go like that because they're sort of directional. They're like an arrow. So yeah, that'll be a job. But we've got other jobs to do before that. It works. I don't think it'll be much of a problem. I think a lot of people were saying if you've got the tracks the wrong way round, as you're travelling, it pushes dirt under the digger, where if they're the other way around, it pushes it out. Or it's something like that. Oh, we're having a bit of a jittery moment on here. I don't know if it's the same at your end. But yeah, so that was the digger. We got that all back up and running. Ooh. Goes a bit of a funny colour there, but it's really bright red. I've got another thing here somewhere. Where is it? I actually made this on a live stream. Oh, what have I done? No, what have I done? Analytics, that's better. Oh, pressing buttons, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, look. YouTube play button. Made out of Lego. Yeah, I put that together on a live stream, actually. I don't know when it was, but it's not the sort of thing that I should really have done live online, because I made myself look a bit stupid, because it's probably like 4 to 5 years upwards, and I was struggling a little bit with it. I wasn't really struggling, but I was having a bit of a moment, I think. But yeah, other than that, that's about it. So we're up in the garage. We have had a tidy up in. Well, I've spent a good few days up here tidying up, going through, clearing junk out. The main objective is to get the Panda back in here, and get that finished and put to bed, basically. Get it up for a control technique and get it bloody sold. Yeah, Tina's decided she can't drive it. Its steering's too heavy for her. So it's gonna go. So if anyone wants a lovely little Panda 4x4, there'll be one going up for sale very soon in France on French plates. Anyway, so that's why we're having a tidy up in here. There's still a lot of crap on the floor, but last week it was so bloody hot. It was hitting ridiculous temperatures, so we invested in a little swimming pool, 2 meters wide, 3 meters long, and 70 centimeters high. I think. So I think the water level's about 66 centimeters. It's enough to go and lie in and float about. Absolutely fantastic. The water actually got quite warm at one point. It was like just lying in a bath. But it's been so nice having it out there. It came with a little pump and everything. It's not a great pump. The filter does block up quite quick, and then the old pump slows right down. It's one of these Intex pools. It went together quite easy. The worst part was getting the ground level, which is why we was on the digger. Tried digging. I've got the big wide bucket on the digger at the minute. I thought I'll just be able to scrape a load of soil up and level it all out. But no, it was so bloody hard. We can't get the dogs in the pool, Roger. We made a big elaborate ramp going up, and we've got some fold-up steps going down on the inside. Nah. Kira would rather go in the pond. We've got a little pond down there, which when I was having we hadn't been here long. We'd got the digger, and I was having a bit of a funny turn for a year. It was something to do with the pills they put me on. Didn't agree with me. I'd get hot, throw up, have a funny turn. I'll go do it anyway. So Tina says I'm going to go out and dig a hole for a pond, and all we was going to do was just chuck a tarpaulin in the bottom, fill it up with water, and somewhere for the dogs to go and cool down. Now she'll go in that, stinking of shit and God knows what. Lovely clean water in the pool there, where she can just walk up a ramp, go down some steps, float around, and then back out the same way. Nah, not interested. Peppy, absolutely bloody useless. Well, we can't even get him in the car, let alone a bloody pool. He's over there, actually. Wait, dipshit. You alright, mate? Useless. Absolutely bloody useless. He's a bloody he's got more Labrador in him than Collie, and I thought Labradors like water and Collies. No. Now, if it was Ludo, I think I'd have got him in there, but not this pillock. Well, let's say we can't even get him in the car. So when we first got him, obviously when we brought him home, Sharon from the dog shelter, she sort of picked him up, chucked him in the boot. He did throw up on the way home. He was sort of crammed in there with my wheelchair. But then I think a couple of days later we took him up to Ladnack, walked him around the lake. He loved it, and then he got back in the car. I think on the way there he sat in the front because he was a bit hesitant about getting in the car. Anyway, he sat in the front of the car. We got to the lake, and then coming home he jumped straight in the back. Brilliant. We went out we planned like a little bit of an off-roading trip, just sort of local, had a bit of a picnic out. We managed to get him in the car, did some off-roading, had a picnic, took the stove with us, cooked up a bit of food, parked up in some woods somewhere, I can't remember where it was. He had a walk round. Tina walked. Kira got in the car because she's a bit old and decrepit. So she lords it up in the back of the Range Rover while Tina and dipshit over here are walking. He jumps back in the car. Thought, brilliant, we've cracked it. You won't get in it now. Arsehole. Hey, you're an arsehole. So yeah, we have got that. We got to work on that. But it's just too bloody hot at the minute. Trouble is, if we open the car up and try and get him in it, Kira jumps in, and then obviously it gets too hot. And then if we have the car running for the aircon to be on for Kira, he gets even further away from the car. But we will get there eventually. I think we're going to end up putting a harness on him and just picking him up and chucking him in the car, to be honest, and just say, get over it, mate, get over it. Great. Now it's pissing hard with rain. Super. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear it on the roof? I'll be quiet. Can you hear that? It's pissing it down. So there you go, Tina. That'll fill the tanks up. Oh, bloody weather. I think it's supposed to pick up again during the week, actually, get hot again. So that might be a bit more floating around in the pool. We've got a it did come with a filter, these little pool kits. Yeah, we were supposed to have storms at some point. It got so hot, I was expecting a storm, to be honest, but it never turned up. I think when I finish here tonight, I'll be packing all the camera gear up, leaving it in the garage and bolting back to the house. Well, rolling down to the house as fast as I can. Hopefully Tina's not halfway up with a cup of tea, because that will impress her not a lot, will it? Oh, she's gone quiet on the old... Oh, I've just seen her message. You can wait for your tea. Well, that's not very nice. You've got a bloody waterproof. Come on. Having said that, my tea will get watered down, won't it, if it fills up with rain. But yeah, we've got another pump for the pool. Quite a big sand filter on it. But Tina found something the other day, and I've ordered it. You replace the sand with like these bloody ball things. I don't know what they are, but apparently 750 grams of these balls is the equivalent of 25 kilos of sand. No, probably not. I have to stick with my water. Council Pop, even though it does say Heineken on it. So yeah, that'll be interesting, because there's no sand in the filter. I think we let Dad borrow it. Mum and Dad borrowed it when they had a pool at their old house, and they had it all rigged up and running. But yeah, it's got no sand in it, so I think we're going to try these balls. I think they should be here this week sometime, and see how well that does, because it's just got like a little cartridge filter on it at the minute. And we did make a bit of a mistake. We started filling the pool up with water out of these tanks. We've got 6 IBCs plumbed into the gutters on this garage. Now, they do fill up really quick. When we get a good rainstorm, they could be full within a few hours, really, if the rain's good. We started filling the pool up with it, and sort of like a lot of green shit come out the bottom. It's sort of like, oh dear. So that's sort of been going around the pool. Obviously, a lot of the stuff only gets churned up to go through the filter when you're sort of swimming around in it. And yeah, it's only like those little cartridges. I'm getting sidetracked here. The seal on this bottle is a bit dirty, so I'm just I took it off. I'm just seeing if it cleans off. It wants a proper good clean, really. Yeah, so that's the plan for next week. When it gets hot again, I think they forecast 34 degrees. That's nice pool weather, isn't it? Yeah, all good stuff. You're right. He's down here now. He's bloody curled up in a ball. Don't know if he doesn't mind the rain too much. When we first got him, he was a bit weird. He sort of didn't really like going out in the rain and getting wet and all that kind of thing. It was like, well, we don't really know his history. We sort of do. He's been in kennels for a couple of years, you know, in rescue kennels, and then before that he was either tied up or in a sort of a cage thing in someone's garden. The wife wouldn't let him in the house. The bloke wouldn't have his nuts cut off, and I think he was just a bit of a nuisance to them, for them. We don't really know. Don't know the full story. But yeah, so he did have not issues, but he was a bit odd. He's chilled out a bit now. We've had him just over a year. Haven't we, mate? You all right? You good boy? That was Mrs. Farmer gone past in the blue tractor. I don't know. Maybe I've mentioned this before. We know pretty much all our neighbours' names, but we don't use them. So that was the Blue Farmers. Now they're Blue Farmers because they got blue tractors, New Hollands. They used to live just opposite us in that bungalow, which you probably don't know because you can't see it on the camera. Anyway, they used to live there. So that was Mr. Farmer, Mrs. Farmer, and the kids. The older kid and the younger kid. Now, his name is... Mr. Farmer is Jerome. Mrs. Farmer is Isabel. The big kid is Alexi. And the little kid is Matteo. Is it Matteo? I always forget. It's something like that. But yeah. And then over there, we've got the Red Farmers. Now, they're called the Red Farmers because they drive Massey Fergusons, which are normally red. So you've got the old boy from the Red Farmer. You got Squeaky Truck, who actually owns the farm. Now, the old boy is the dad to Squeaky Truck and Mrs. Farmer, who are brother and sister. So we call him Squeaky Truck because he used to drive a Mitsubishi L200, which squeaked going up the road. He had, we've been here for a good few years, and then he's upgraded. He got rid of that, and I think I've seen that in the village. Somebody else has got it, I think. It looked like it was the same one. So yeah, it's a lot of tenuous links around here. It sort of goes around in big circles. So yeah, Squeaky Truck upgraded, and he's now got an Isuzu pickup, which I thought was a Hilux to start with because I didn't see the badge on the front. It just looked like a black Hilux because they're all the same bloody shape nowadays, aren't they? And that was like really quiet for a start, but now it started squeaking. So yeah, Squeaky Truck. Now, so the old boy is the dad. Squeaky Truck and Mrs. Farmer are his children, brother and sister. So Squeaky Truck owns the farm over there. The farmers who used to live opposite us have a farm down there, round the corner from where the old boy lives. The old boy rents his house from the people that they used to rent the farm off. So Squeaky Truck bought the farm about 20 years ago. None of you are probably interested in this, but I just thought I'd explain. Do I speak French? Absolutely not. Enough that I can get by. Tina is pretty fluent, but I'm all right if they are. If we're talking about a subject that I know words for, I'm all right. When I was in hospital for however many months it was, I could talk to them, and I understand more than I can speak. Put it like that. It's not easy for me, French, for some reason, when it comes to the French language, my brain is a bit like Teflon. Nothing seems to stick. But when I first moved out here and I started working with my dad, we was doing a job for a French bloke, spoke perfect English. He used to be, what was he? What do you call them people on the plane? Not the pilot, the one who goes up and down with the drinks. A steward, yeah. And I think he worked for Air France, so he was, perfect English. And he said to me, he said most French, he said, are pretty thick. Thick with a thick. And he said they'll only know 600 to 800 words. He said learn those words and you'll be as fluent as they are. I went, okay, it's obviously a little bit more technical than that, but so yeah, I know certain words for tools, car parts, bits and pieces. You pick up on words, don't you? Yeah, order a pint. Un beer, s'il vous plaît. Un baguette, s'il vous plaît. It's easy peasy. Or just go, one of them, mate. But I've always found everywhere, if you try, even if your French is crap, if you try it, they don't mind. We have noticed there are some English people that don't bother trying, and they try it conversing with the French in English with a French accent. So it just sounds like something off hello, which sounds absolutely bloody ridiculous. And it's like, how do you expect anyone to understand that? The rain has started yet again. You're all right down there, mate. You don't look very comfortable. Poor little boy. Let me see if I can pick this camera up and show you. Hang on a minute. Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Spot the dog. Peppy. Peppy. You good boy. You good boy. Peppy. Oh. We're back. So yeah, that's Pepe down there on the floor. Hang on, I need to get back to my YouTube screen. Hospital for 14 weeks. I was in hospital I went in back in 2016. This was. I went in on the 4th of April as an emergency in a helicopter. Woo woo woo. And I came out of hospital end of June, I think, and then I was in a rehab centre from the end of June right through till December. So yeah, there was a lot of French. Obviously, they all come in. It's quite funny, really, because you're lying in hospital bed, dying, basically. It's feeling as rough as arseholes, and that's only because I picked up a load of infections. All the nurses come in trying out their little bit of English on you. And it's like, okay. But then in the rehab centre, most of them spoke English as well, which was quite handy. But yeah, I did understand half of what they were saying. Oliver. She was a married woman. Oh dear. See. Oh, I don't know. near Toulouse. We went past Toulouse when we was on our little trip to Spain. I got a bloody speeding ticket coming back from Spain. It only come through the other day. Hopefully you can still hear me over this rain. Oh, bloody weather. Tina, when you come up, could you bring me a coat, please? I might need to put something over my head. That wasn't his sister. Can't have been. I don't know actually, but you know. Yeah, got a thing come through the post the other day, and Tina said, "Oh, it's for you, Republic of France or something." And I thought, oh God, what's that? Tax people after me again. Not that we do anything naughty, but there's always some drama with tax, isn't there? It's normally our Foncier because we get a discount, and I have to apply for it every single year. Now, they've told me I'm going to be disabled for... Well, my disabled card runs out in 2028. So obviously I'm disabled till then. I don't know what's going to happen afterwards. So, you know, I might miraculously get up and start running around. But every single year I've got to apply for my discount. So I thought it was something to do with that. Anyway, opens it up. And as soon as I opened it up, I thought, I know what that is. It's a bloody speeding ticket. Bastards. Now, coming back from Spain, obviously we went over the mountains. It was single track road. And then you hit France. Oh, welcome to France, or whatever it says. And then somewhere along there, it was a 70-kilometre speed limit, and they caught me doing 77. We actually got stopped coming back. There's like a little checkpoint before you get on. Is it the A64, the motorway? Going all around these single track roads. And there's the traffic backed up for miles, and I thought, oh, here we go. And they was pulling everybody into the, like a checkpoint. Oh, excuse me. I thought, here we go. But they was letting all the Spanish cars past, and they was pulling all the French cars in. So they like looked at the car, French plates. Oh, of course our car's says 19 on it because we bought it from Brive, which comes under what's 19? Carrez. Is it? Yeah. We live in 87, Haute Vienne. Not that it makes any difference. You don't have to change all that anyway. Anyway, so yeah, I got fined. If I was to pay it within so many days, it's €45 and no points. So that was handy, really. Thought, sorry, pay it quickly, get it done. But yeah, craft didn't see any cameras whatsoever, so that was a bit crafty, that one. I have had a few speeding tickets since I've been here. I've been in France since 2009 now. That's probably my third one. Most of them, it's just like you're just slightly over, because they don't give you a lot of leeway in France, do they? Obviously in the UK, what do they give you? 10% and a little bit. In France, it said the limit's 70, they'll allow you up to 72. It's like, oh, whoopee bloody do, thanks for that. So yeah, paid me fine. I'd already got my Critter sticker before we went. Whether that yeah, they're toe rags, aren't they? We did actually go, you know, we're going round Toulouse to get down. Was it the A64? I can't remember what it was. Well, it does say about the mission zones as you're driving up there, and then of course I took a wrong turn coming back, ended up veering off, and it's like, oh, where are we going? Because this doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. So anyway, we turned around, came back out. It was about 14 kilometres out of our way, but anyway, we got back on the road, and we got home in quite a good time actually. Once we get below 2,000 metres, the car wasn't playing up, so we was all right. So, oh, don't they do that anymore, Ollie? Have you had a speeding ticket? I don't know. But yeah, so overall, the trip was rather successful. Very enjoyable. Obviously, my brother had a bit of a thing for the woman at the campsite. I don't know what they're like at this other campsite though, Ollie. So you'll have to see if they're on Instagram. Check them out. Oh dear. I don't know. But yeah, it should be good. Going to the other side of Spain. It's totally different scenery. It was very green where we went. Quite mountainy. Yeah. I'm actually surprised that we never got more speeding tickets when we had our when I had a motorbike and when you had the Fireblade and that. I can hear something. Yeah, I am actually quite surprised we didn't get any speeding tickets, to be honest. Things we used to get up to. No, we didn't go on a Spanish motorway. It was just the French side, and I had my little Ulyss, what is it? ULYS, Ulyss tag up in the windscreen. Got it all sorted out before we went away, and I thought, oh, brilliant, here we go. Of course, it needed activating, and it was getting close to the time, and I'm like, oh, shit. So when we got to the very first toll, going down there, we sort of like, my brother actually filmed it, and we drove really slow up to it. The thing beeped, barrier went up, bloody marvellous. Yeah, so all the way down there, it was only toll roads on the French side, because once we got onto the Spanish side, it was just like main route nationale, just single carriageway. I could have opted to add the Spanish and Italian motorways to the tag. It was a little bit more money, and I thought I looked at the map. I thought, well, I can't see any motorways in Spain that we're going to go on, so I just stuck with a French one. So yeah, all the way there and all the way back, it cost me €50 on the tolls, so €25 each way. Mr. Dibbles is in the house. So yeah, I didn't think that's too bad, to be honest. Fuel-wise, the car did really well, to be honest. I filled it up at Nexon, just up the road from us. We got all the way down to the campsite in Spain, and we was on about a third of a tank. So we then drove up to the fuel station just outside Sort, and it was $1.30 a litre. So it was a good 30 cents a litre cheaper near the campsite than it was up the road from our house. So my brother filled it up that time. That did us all our off-roading. And then I think it was the morning we was coming home, I then filled the car up. It was only like €50. We hadn't used that much, to be honest. And I got all the way home on a tank, and I still had plenty left. So yeah, I was quite impressed with that, because my brother was going to pay for all the fuel, and I think he budgeted for like €200 a day. I didn't know how much we was going to use off-roading and driving about, but we didn't use as much fuel as I thought we was going to. So that was a Brucey bonus. Yeah, all good stuff. As we sort of got further away from the campsite, the old diesel got a bit more expensive. I think the cheapest we saw elsewhere was about $1.40 a litre. But yeah, I was quite happy to fill up at $1.30 a litre. It's been a long time since it's been that in France. So that was a rather refreshing, pleasant surprise. Bloody marvellous. Thought, well, we'll get it filled up, and we'll use Spanish diesel to get ourselves home. Oh, Christ. Oh, I think Tina's just shouted and the dog's gone running. Yeah, to be honest, it didn't spend that long in limp mode, really. I suppose, yeah, well, it might have done. Whether it made it was the reason or not, I don't know. When you're off-roading, you're not using a lot of revs, are you? And if you've got it in low range, you know, you're not putting a lot of stress on the engine. Half the time it's just ticking over. I did think we was going to use a lot more than we did, but I actually took a spare fuel filter with us, and we didn't have any issues, but I probably will change it at some point, because I have seen other YouTubers actually having issues with Spanish diesel. I can't remember who it was now. There was a Defender. There was a family driving around in a Defender, and it started playing up, and that turned out to be shit fuel, and he was pissed about with a fuel filter. So I did actually take one with us in case of that issue, but we didn't have any problems. But I will take it off, drain it into something, see if there's any shite in it. I did do on a filter before we went. Now since coming back, I know a lot of people probably think, oh no, you should never do that, you should never do it, but I topped up the air conditioning the other day. Now, my dad's new car, he's got a Citroen C Crosser. I've done a video on that, you can check it out. And his air conditioning wasn't working at all. The compressor wasn't clicking in and out. I says, well, I don't know. I says, I've not really had much, all my years of mechanicking, I've not really had much to do with air conditioning, to be honest. I said, rather than take it to a garage and then fleece you, telling you it's going to cost this, I said, let's get one of these little bottles of thing and a pipe, the adapter kit, and we'll try and fill your car up, fill the system up. So anyway, it was so bloody hot, and he had an airport run to do. He said, oh, is it all right if I pop over? He said, I've got the stuff. So he come over one night after tea, opened all the bonnet up and everything, did what you're supposed to do, clicked it all in place, give the whole thing a good old shake. The manometer thing on it registered absolutely nothing. It sort of just came off the bottom on the needle. I said to her, I says, he's got all his aircon turned on, the fans switched right up, wound round to cold. I said, there's nothing going on here. I said, there's obviously absolutely nothing in the system. So I said, well, I started screwing the thing, and it filled the system up. The manometer needle went round. All of a sudden, compressor fires up, clicks in, the fan starts going, and it's like, oh bloody hell, it's working. So we emptied a whole can into his car, took all the thing off and everything. There's no leaks. We just left it running for a bit. Anyway, he drove it home. He said it was bloody nice, cold. And I think when he did the airport run, a load of family came over. I think they was all complaining that it was too cold in there. Anyway, he's got all the pipe, the adapter and everything, so I thought, right, I'm going to get a bottle of the stuff. Our car's the same. It's that R134A, the gas stuff you put in it. I thought, it can't hurt, can it? I thought, well, what I want to do first is, you can't do it without a can, is plug the pipework on and see what pressure comes up on the little gauge. So I drove over to their house. That's right, I was fixing his lawnmower for him. I drove over there. I said, while the car's still running and everything, can I just use your thing? So we opened the bonnet, put it on, and it was sort of sitting at the very low end in the green. So obviously the green is the okay bit. It was sitting right in the low end. So I thought, right, I'll give the old thing a shake. Screwed it in. And my dad he sat in the car measuring with a temperature thing, and he said it was about 8 degrees coming out of the vent. Anyway, we got the stuff in it, took all the pipe off and everything, screwed the thing back on, let the aircon run for a bit longer with all the windows up on recirculate, and he got back in and zapped it with his temperature gauge, and I'm sure he said it was 2 degrees and it was getting colder. It's like, Christ. Yeah, bugger. So yeah, it did cool it down. I know a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't really do that because you're not measuring the high pressure side and this, that and the other, but it worked. It's 15 years old, the car, now, so I don't think there's any leaks. It's just obviously it dissipates and goes somewhere, or I don't bloody know how it all works. But anyway, it's absolutely really cold now, the old aircon. Perhaps I should have done it before we went to Spain. But although it was hot in Spain, it wasn't scorcho sort of heat. It did get warm, and I think the last day when we was having a bit of a chill out session we did 2 days of off-roading, and then the third day that I found a massive lake, but it was shit. You couldn't really drive down to it and sort of sit on the edge of the lake or anything like that. You had to actually go into like a campsite and stuff. So we ended up sort of turning around, coming back to the campsite, having a spot of lunch, and just chilled out for the afternoon. I think my brother went and had a dip in the swimming pool, and we all just sat out in the sun, charged up the solar thing, and then went for a bit of tapas that night. First time I've ever had tapas. I did say to Tina before we went, she said, oh, you ought to go out. And I said, oh, here she comes now. Look at her. You think she's bloody... And you told me it was only passing shower, Tina.
I've seen what's out there. There's some mighty black around.
I can see it over there.
Yeah, it's all going that way. And that. I'm hoping it goes that way.
Well, I didn't want to do that. Put it up there. I put it on my tripod and it's dragging on the floor. Yeah. Thank you for that, Tina.
That's all right.
Fresh cup of tea. No cake?
No, you don't want cake apparently. So
No. I'm on the old diet now.
Deal with these two, would you? They're both up here asking. I am going to attempt to take them round. That's the only reason I'm pulled up.
We do have stock up here for the mutts. Can I give you that? Bloody hell, Kira. One for you. Go on, take it. One for you. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'll come back up. If you're not already back, I'll come back up. Pick up the cups when I do the chickens.
Yeah, alright.
That'll be sort of 10:15.
Well, I'll aim to finish for about 10, if there's people still here. Because I ain't got lights on my wheelchair. And I've got to come back up the road. What's that look for?
Like that's never stopped you.
Oh well, yeah, because it's so busy.
Do you remember the mattress scenario?
Yeah.
No lights then either.
No. Anyway, I digress. Where did I get to? Oh, tapas, yeah. Tina said you ought to go out somewhere, try some local cuisine. And I said, oh, tapas, that's Spanish, isn't it? And she said, well, I think so. So I said, oh, I wouldn't mind trying a bit of that. So while we was there, we went to a tapas bar. Bloody marvellous it was. The trouble is, the town was shit. It wasn't shit. It was shit for disabled people. Access was bloody awful. They had like zebra crossings, but the curb was like that. There was no drop curbs or anything like that. So it was like, the bloody hell. So I had to spin round, go down backwards, spin round again, go across the zebra crossing, do a wheelie up onto the next one, and brother and my dad pushed me back up onto the curb the other side. Absolutely crap. So I ought to put a complaint in really to the Spanish whoever. Yeah, you're not very, what's the word? Disabled friendly. Yeah, other than that, it was a good trip. And luckily, we left that for the last night because really we should have driven up there. Because if you watch the video, you'll see how steep it was coming out of that campsite.
They got the brains they were born with.
Are they out in the rain?
They're drowned.
Oh. Chickens are out in the rain. Silly as arseholes.
Well, they're going to be wet
Yeah.
later on.
Well, they'll have a good old shake, it'll fling off, won't it?
Yeah. Oh, like bloody rats.
But yeah, looking forward to next year's little trip now. Hopefully the car plays the game. And I've got the control arms to change. I've got them up there somewhere. I've put the other wheels back on the car, the road wheels and tyres, just to stay on the right side of the law. You know how it is. I've mentioned this previously. He failed. The bloke wouldn't pass the control technique with the off-road tyres on it because they're slightly different size, and load rating and speed rating. That's right. I did explain to him that the load rating is higher than what the sticker says. The speed rating is not quite as high, but it's higher than what the car will go. Now, obviously, when I was MOTing in the UK, you did look at tyres. They had to match across the axle. I used to do Class 7 testing as well, so that was vans, 3 ton up to 3.5. You had to check the load rating and all that kind of thing. Other than that, you use your common sense. Not in France. No. Tina went up to the local garage with. We pulled the spare wheel out of the boot, which it's brand new, never been used. It's got a brand new Continental road tyre on it. And I've got a brand new General Grabber, which I ordered. And she took it up to the local garage. She said, "Can you fit this on the spare? But we want to keep that tyre for later on," sort of thing. And she came out of the office and looked at the car, looked at the sticker. "Oh no, can't fit that. It's against the law, blah, blah, blah." The mechanic came out of the workshop and he's sort of like shaking his head. When the woman from the office wandered off, he said, "Look," he said, "I would have done it." He says, "But she knows about it now." There's an EU directive came out at the start of 2024, which is why the bloke failed it on the CT. Obviously, car manufacturer. That's the Blue Farmers. That's probably Alexi. He's got air-ons on his tractor. There was an EU directive came out in 2024, at the start of 24. Now, obviously, our CT failed December 23. He failed it on tyres being below the legal limit, which, fair enough. I phoned up. No, I ordered them online. Bloke came out and fitted them at the house. And I took it back for a CT in January. Had I have taken it back in December, he would have passed it. Took it back in January, the law changed, and it was a firm no. Oh, you bastard. So anyway, thought, right, so we ended up buying a second set of wheels, putting a set of road tyres on it, took it back, passed it, no problem. So I thought, right, we're just going to be swapsies every time we want to take it for a control technique. Of course, now the garage won't even fit the bloody tyre. What did the mechanic say to Tina? He said, France, he said, they're very square. He's as in, right, rigid, that's the rules. No, can't do anything about that. I said, I can't believe the load rating for these General Grabbers. So it's a 255, 55, 20, 110H. So 110 is the load rating, H is the speed rating, H goes up to 130 miles an hour. Now, to me, the speed limit in France is 130 kilometres. The fastest road is 130 kilometres an hour. If you're going faster than that, well, you shouldn't be. So, what's that? So, the Range Rover that we've got, according to Land Rover, will do 124 miles an hour. Now, that's obviously a best case scenario, downhill, flat out, no strong backwind, probably nothing sticking off the side of the car, so it's aerodynamic and this, that and the other. I don't think I would ever see that sort of speed out of our car, and I never would do, because, it gets a little bit dicey, doesn't it? Nearly 3 ton of car, that size and shape, rattling through the air at 120 miles an hour. But, so the tyres that Land Rover say should be on the car is a 255 50 by 20 109Y. 109 is the load rating, so the General Grabbers take a bit more weight. That's what you want, isn't it? Y rated is up to 186 miles an hour. What the bloody hell are they thinking? I don't think there's a Range Rover on this bloody planet that does that sort of speed. Maybe if you push it out the back of an aeroplane, it might get up to that speed. I don't know. Yeah, so I was a bit pissed off that day. I thought, well, that's off-roading fucked for us, isn't it? I don't know. I just don't bloody know. There is a slight workaround between the months of November and March. We can fit winter tyres, which can be out of spec. You have to put a sticker on your dashboard saying don't drive over 210 kilometres an hour, I think it is. And you can carry a bit of paperwork. This is all sort of unofficial guidelines that I've seen on the internet. Whether you'd get away with it or not, I don't know. That lot depends on who you get stopped by. But it's not so much the getting stopped, it's having an accident and then the insurance company not paying out. Even if, if someone was to crash into you and their insurance company found out you've got the wrong tyres fitted, you're stuffed. So I have got in touch with our local Land Rover dealer, where the car went back for its recall. No reply. Because I wanted to know, I said, surely a car that is so capable off-road, surely there should be options for off-road tyres. Can you point me in the right direction? Have Land Rover type approved some tyres where I can get some official paperwork, fit those tyres, have some official paperwork, and we'll all be good. We'll all be golden, basically. They ain't got back to me yet, so I might have to send an email to Land Rover France. The car went back for a recall, which I was quite surprised with, actually. Obviously, the car's a 2010. Gets the thing through the post. Oh, yeah, airbag needs changing, passenger airbag, blah, blah, blah. Sent him a message, and I was really struggling to get through to him. Anyway, I thought, oh, sod it. Christmas is coming. We don't be pissing about driving up to Limoges. Anyway, in the new year, I can't remember when it was, but I got another letter through, and it actually had a code, a recall code. I looked it up. And it says, in the event of an accident, the airbag can go off and impale your passenger with shards of metal. It's like, charming. So there is a recall. It affects quite a few cars with this certain airbag in it. Obviously in France, they got in touch with me. I got in touch with the Land Rover dealership in Limoges. A lot of pissing about backwards and forwards, trying to organise a rendezvous. Anyway, it's all booked in. Tina's driving there. She's almost there. She gets a missed call on her phone, so she pulls over and phones me up. She says, I've had a missed call from someone. I don't know who it is. They didn't leave a message. Oh, no, they did leave a message, but she couldn't. Anyway, she said, check your emails. So check my emails. Yeah, I've got an email from Land Rover. Ever so sorry, we're going to have to cancel your rendezvous today. Staff issues. Load of bollocks. I said, I know what's happened. Because it's a recall, it's done under warranty, and the Land Rover dealership won't get paid a lot for doing warranty work. And, by Land Rover themselves won't pay the dealership a lot of money for doing recall work. It's just the way it is. I said, someone who's probably bought a brand new Range Rover wants it servicing and wants it servicing now, and they've probably said, oh, well, he's a paying customer. He's obviously spent a lot of money with us, brand new Range Rover, this, that, and that. I'm just guessing, because when Tina, she had to go past the dealership to go to the shops that she was going to, she said it was all open. She said it looked quite busy in there. I said, yeah, they're talking crap. So anyway, they booked it in again, or we booked it in, and Tina worked it round an airport run. She was picking one of her family members up from the airport. So she took it in. They did the airbag. So it's got a new airbag in it. And I didn't even get in the car for a good few days afterwards. And I jumped in the car and all the centre bloody vent was hanging out the dashboard. And I said to her, I said, did you not see that? She said, no, I didn't notice. So I tried getting it back in, but where they tried forcing it back into the hole, it deformed one of the pipes and I could not get it back in. I thought, I'm not pissing about with this. Say Tina had to go back to Limoges for something else, so I sent him an email. I said it needs sorting out. I said, you've not done a very good job here. So obviously the airbag's been done, but I can't get this, the vents all hanging out. I sent him a picture. So she took it back in. They did it there and then popped it back in and whatever. So it's all back together as normal now. So I ordered some bits the other day. I've got the oil for the front diff, oil for the rear diff, and oil for the transfer case. So we'll be changing those at some point. I'll be doing the control arms. Now, I have read, the car is done 148,000 kilometres. I don't know what that is in real money. A lot of people on the internet are saying that the car will be good for about 100,000 miles on the original control arms. Don't fit anything other than Land Rover's own control arms. I thought, I've got a load up there that I bought for the TD6. It's exactly the same part numbers, same everything. So this won't be getting fitted with Land Rover parts. I think they're Delphi. I don't know. Blue Farmers again. I think Sam over at Sam's Motor Machine, he fitted Lemforder, which I think they're pretty good. Now, what a lot of people are saying is if the Land Rover ones are good for about 100,000 miles, and then if you fit crap ones, they'll only do 10 to 15,000. But I'm going to fit these other ones, see if the car drives better, because it just seems to wander about a little bit. So I'm going to fit those, and then obviously when they wear out in 10 to 15,000 miles, if they do, they might not. It'll take us a good few years to do that sort of mileage. I think between the two control techniques at the last time, we'd only done 6,000 kilometres, and that's 2 years. So yeah, we'll be a while wearing those out. The difference in price is not that much really, and I don't know if Lemforder are OE parts for Land Rover. I think these ones were like €40 each, whereas the Lemforder ones are, I think two of them are like 65, 70, and I think the other two are slightly more expensive. He does keep advising on the bushes in them, and it does feel like it's wandering about a little bit. So I will change those at some point. I say I've got the oils to change. Transfer box oil. Make sure you get the right one on these cars, because it's not just any old gear oil. There's all sorts of oils out there. I can't remember what sort I've got now. Give me a second. we got sound now? I'm on the overhead cam. Oh no. Let's go for the webcam. Can you hear me? I think the sound's coming through there. I don't know why the main camera's stopped working. It's working up there. Why is it not working on there? Oh, the webcam's pretty shit, isn't it, compared to that one? Let me go back to the main cam. It's not working. Oh no. Oh, what are we doing in here? It was all going so well. Overhead, yes, not the other one. Frozen, no sound. Only the overhead cam's working. Oh, what's going on now? Oh, I've just gone back. Main cam, no. Oh, no. I don't know what I've done. I haven't done anything. It's just stopped. Anyway, I was pissing about with these, which are MC4 connectors. So I've got what I did. I keep dropping stuff. Is the sound coming through all right on this camera? Let me know. Tell me if the sound is working. Because if it is, I'm gonna have to carry on. I'm sure it does. It says it's working. Perhaps the camera's at an. Oh, is it working on the audio capture? Ooh, ooh. Yeah, I think that's working. Sound is okay. Anyway, where did I get to? Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with that camera. I was on about oil, wasn't I? Ravenol. Ravenol transfer fluid. It does say something on here. Professional line. Ooh la la. There is a number on here for Land Rovers, and it is the specific one for our Range Rover. Well, where is it? Not that it makes a lot of difference, because you won't have a clue what I'm bloody talking about. So, but yeah, it's fully synthetic transfer fluid, DTF1, made in Germany. Oh, does that mean it's good? Who knows? But yeah, that's that. 2 of those. I think it's 1.6 litres in the transfer box. So there's another one there. Also, so this stuff here is Transmax Axle, long life, 75W90 axle fluid, smooth drive technology. Now this has got all the right numbers for Range Rover, front diff, rear diff, they're both the same oil. It's APIGL5 is the number you want, is what I've been finding on the internet. So yeah, 2 of those. I think one of the axles has got 0.8 of a litre and the other one's got 1.1, so 2 of those does the job. Also, while I was on Auto Dock, I got some of these. I don't know if they're going to be the right size. They are the screws that hold in the map sensor. I couldn't buy just one, I had to buy 5. And then on auto dock, I don't mind because we use them fairly regular. If you spend so much, you get free delivery. I think they've put it up to 120 euros now, and I was like on 119 euros. It's like, no, 118 euros in parts. So I've got to spend €2 to get free shipping. So I just ordered an oil drain thing with a little spout on the end, so it's easy to pour it. I have got some. What I normally use is in the Bricos over here in France, you can buy like these trays that the plasterers use and all that sort of thing. I've got a few of those that I drain oil into, but when it comes to draining them out, it just makes a bloody mess everywhere. Yeah, I got one of those. It was, I think, €5. I thought, well, I'll spend €5. It's something that I'll probably use, and it gets me free shipping because the shipping was £10. So spend 5, save 10. Oh dear. So yeah. Well, I really don't know what's happened to the other camera. Let me just have a quick look, make sure it's 5. Back to the webcam. Yeah, it's technology, innit? Technology is brilliant. Oh, I've really cocked it up now. What's going on? Oh, I don't know. Well, I'm all in the green on here. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, we're onto the webcam now. Not quite as good, but I think the audio is still coming from the main camera, so you'll have to let me know if the sound's okay. Turn it off and on again. What, the camera? Trouble is, if I do that, it might upset everything because, well, I'll just carry on with the webcam. Yeah, technology's all right all the time it's working, and then it'll have a glitch, and then everything just goes to shit. So, yeah. Anyway, cheers. Sunday evening. Sunday evenings always used to be... Well, it didn't always used to be, but I always remember Sunday evenings when we was kids. Hang on a minute, I'm going to sleep. Oh, shit. Sunday evening memories would be... especially a day like this when it's pissing hard and rain, the old fire would be going in the front room. We'd get all set up on the carpet with crumpets on a roasting fork over the fire, bit of butter on it, and then we'd be, I think, was it Dick King-Smith on the telly? What? And his dog, what was his dog called? Toto. I can't even remember what the programme was called, but it's sort of like in the countryside and stuff like that. And then it'd be crap like Antiques Roadshow and bloody Bergerac. Midsummer Murders come a bit later. He was obviously a bit younger in Bergerac, and then all the Sunday night dramas and shite, basically. But then we only had four channels, didn't we, back in those days? And I do remember when we only had 3 channels, I think, because was it 1980 something, Channel 4 came out. Now, Christ, you're spoilt for choice when it comes to channels. Yeah, there you go. Well, this has been a rather eventful experiment up in the garage. I did have, say, got my overhead cam on here. I wanted just to check that out, make sure it all worked on this bloody OBS thing, because there might be a possibility that I could come up here and do a live stream and actually do something on the bench. Oh, well, full fat is the way to go, Gary. Full fat is the way to go. Check out everything. They can be a money pit or they can be a bloody glorious motor. Full service history if you can. Find out when the gearbox has been served. I don't know what year Westminster you're looking at. If it's up to 2010 with a 3.6, that'll be the 6-speed ZF gearbox in it. If it's 2010 with a 4.4, 2010 onwards with a 4.4, it's got the 8-speed ZF. They do reckon that the 8-speed ZF is better, but it'll still want servicing, so make sure that's been done. And so it's going to be a 4. Well, unless it's petrol. Is it petrol or diesel, gasol, or or essence? Yeah, hundreds of channels with nothing on. Indeed. I mean, we don't even have telly now. We've got we just YouTube and Amazon and Netflix, and then even then, I just end up flicking through absolute crap, don't you? Diesel, gasol. Yeah, service history, gearbox, if that's been done, serviced, flushed, whatever. Check on the. I have done a couple of videos on what to check on Range Rovers, but that they do suffer from rust on the very back of the sill where the door and the wheel arch. Especially UK cars, they tend to get a bit of tin worm over there. Now, our Range Rover, being French, seems pretty good. Having said that, I do have a bit of rust coming up on the tailgate, which I'm a bit annoyed about. It sort of got under the paint, and the paint's sort of lifting a little bit. One owner, 61,000, full Range Rover history, one owner. Oh. 13 grand. Sounds like a steal. Make sure it's not stolen. It does sound like a good one. Obviously, you've got to go and check it out, have a drive in it. I would say be cheeky and plug in a diagnostic tool and see if anything comes up, because that seems to be the thing that everyone does now, doesn't it? When they go and look at a car, plug in a diagnostic tool. I mean, if anyone's selling the car and they've got a bit of nous about them, they would have plugged a diagnostic tool in before you get there and cleared any codes. Obviously, some cars will register codes and not throw a light up on the dashboard. When I plug out, I did the test on that new scan tool that got sent to me the other day. Nice one. Always carry a gap tool. I plugged it into our car. All the same old shit comes up every time. Lost communication with this. Such and such isn't working. You clear the codes, they don't come back. Everything that it says was playing up works. Apart from, I did pick up a permanent fault, which was the parking sensors. I can't remember what the fault was now, what number, but it said something like parking control module not communicating with something or other. The light wasn't coming on the button on the dashboard. There's there's a parking sensor button. You can override them and press the button and switch it all off. That wasn't lighting up or anything. But it sort of stopped working just after I'd fitted the tow bar, and I thought, have I done something? And because when I fitted the tow bar, you've got to use the gap tool to change some CCF files to enable the towing electrics, and obviously it controls the car. But for whatever reason, on our old TD6, when we used to plug the trailer in, that would override the suspension. So the suspension would go up to normal height, but it wouldn't drop back down again, and you couldn't put it into off-road height, so that it sort of kept your trailer level. And then obviously with the TD6, when you spent, was it 30 seconds over 50 miles an hour, the normal height would drop by 10 or 20 mil. So that was sort of like your highway mode, so that it sort of dropped it. These Range Rovers don't do that, the newer ones, until you get over 100 and something miles an hour for so long. then they might squat down. I forgot what I was saying now. So yeah, that's right, trailer electrics. Yeah, when you used to plug that in, it would override the trailer electrics, and also when you plug a trailer socket into the back of it, it's supposed to switch off the rear parking sensors, so that if you put it in reverse, it's obviously going to see you've got a trailer on and start buzzing and beeping when you plug your trailer thing. So that stopped working around about the time I fitted the tow bar. So I'm like, oh, have I done something in the CCF files? But I thought, well, it's not even lighting up anymore. So I took a chance. I ordered a second-hand control module off of eBay. It turned up. I thought, right, I'll plug it in, see if it works. So I plugged it in, fired the car up, and it worked straight away. Absolutely perfect. No problems whatsoever. I have actually taken, because there's a common fault on the back of these Range Rovers, they sort of let a bit of water in. It's normally something to do with the sunroof. The drains block on the sunroof and it fills the back of the car with water. Common fault is the pins on the module get all corroded. Absolutely crystal clean. You know, I've actually taken the module box apart, looked at the circuit board, absolutely nothing wrong in there. So it's some component in there has gone kaput. Anyway, replace that. So that fault doesn't come up anymore. When I plugged that tool in the other day, it did say that one of the front sensors was not working. But I thought, hang on a minute, none of the sensors were working. So it must have logged a fault at some point. But that's all working fine now. So yeah, I'd always get some faults pop up. There's always something on these Range Rovers, isn't there? So yeah, it's just I think with a gap tool you can actually switch some sensors off. I'm not sure. I did read something on the Gap website, Gap diagnostic website, in the FAQ section about parking sensors. I think you can switch. Can you switch? Is it the rear ones you can switch off and leave the front ones on? It's something like that. But if your module's not talking to them, it could either be the connection behind the bumper for your front sensors, or the module might have packed up altogether. There you go. Something for you to look at, isn't it? Keep you busy. Keep you on your toes. Yeah, you'd be better off with a full fat Range Rover anyway. Especially a Westminster, they're pretty well loaded, aren't they, with all the toys. I mean, ours is only a Vogue SE, so we're a bit higher up than the Vogues, the bottom of the range. It's weird how they work. You got your Vogue SE, and then your Westminster, and your Autobiography, and Autobiography Black, and then all this, that, and the other. But every single version of the L322 had a set trim. So I think the Vogue SE got heated and cooled seats. Whereas I think the Vogue only gets heated seats. But then all the options that the other models get, you can specify them as a option on like the Vogue, or like options that you get on the Autobiography. You could spec it for the Vogue SE. So, well, why don't you just buy an Autobiography? You know, if you wanted all those options on your car, can't quite get my head around that. Perhaps it works out cheaper if you only wanted certain things. I don't know. It's like the lock-in rear diff. I think it was Sam saw one of my videos. He said, "Oh, your lights popped on. You've got a lock-in rear diff." He said, "I'm well jealous." I'm like, "Oh, brilliant, nice one." But I was thinking, I thought, has it got a lock-in rear diff? Oh, I'm gonna have to have a look. So I crawled underneath it, and there's no electronics on it. So no, it hasn't. I did put a video out actually saying I'm gonna have to get rid of the car now because I was all excited thinking it's got a lock-in rear diff. and it hasn't got one, so we're going to have to trade it in. Tongue in cheek, joking, obviously, but the car's pretty capable without locking diff. I know it does help, but you know. I mean, if money was no issue, I would be tempted by one of those sport SVR things, because they look and sound pretty bloody awesome. But money's an issue, so I shan't be getting one anytime soon. Let's win the lottery, but then you've got to play the lottery to win it, so that ain't going to be happening anytime soon either. So, yeah, all good stuff. All bloody good stuff. I don't know what else to tell you, really. There's not much more to say. I've run out of things to say. Let's have another swig of this. It is only water. Might go back indoors and have an early night. Ho, bloody ho. Well, so I don't really know what we're doing for the rest of the week. A lot of that depends on the weather. So it has been getting so bloody hot here. I think one day it got to 37, 38. But in the sun, it was like proper hot, you know. I think I caught that message before it got retracted. So other than that, what else have I done this week? If anyone follows me on Facebook, on my personal page, you'd have seen that I've refurbished an old air rifle. It's one of my dad's old ones that he had when he was a kid. BSA Cadet Major. Yes, a Ben's Garage sticker, of course. I think I've still got some. Yeah, so I stripped it down. I only cosmetically refurbished. I'll tell you why it was. Some bloke sent me an email, and just out of the blue, because I did a video on it on my other channel, Mad Dog Air Guns, and my dad gave it because they've been in the cupboard since we were kids for years and years and years. We used to shoot them when we were kids. I gave him one of my old air rifles, well, which was quite a newish one, 31. Yeah, it's the humidity that does it. It was fairly humid here. There's a lot of countries, oh, bloody 30 degrees, that's nothing, you know, that's our bloody winter temperatures. But they're normally in like a really dry heat. I saw a thing the other day. I think it was an American couple in the UK, and they could not cope with 25 degrees. They said, you know, this 25 degrees feels like it's nearly 40, and it's all due to the humidity. So it's like here. We get indoors, close the shutters, close the curtains. All the fans are running in the house. Obviously, the solar's doing really well. Batteries get charged up by about lunchtime. The solar, that's another bloody story. It was the night before we was about to leave for Spain. Tina said, have we had a power cut? And I was like, why? She said all the ovens had gone off. I said, well, they're all on solar. It's like, oh, shit. Where's the electric gone? Anyway, go through. The inverter was dead. Absolutely nothing. It was. And I tried resetting it, trying to get it going, and it just kept coming up with a fault and then shutting itself down. I thought, oh. So, right, it's the night before we're going away. I'll just quickly wire the house back up to the mains, bypassing the inverter, so Tina's got power while we're away, and then I'll sort it out when I get home. So luckily, so we've got two inverters. The original one I bought when we set up was the Grow Watt, that was running for nearly 2 years and it packed up. So we was like, shit, what do we do? I was trying to get it all done on warranty, but we needed an inverter. We got panels out there, we got batteries in there. They're sitting there doing absolutely nothing. So we bought a cheap one made by Palmister. I have done videos on this on this channel. The Palmister was working for 8 months and that packed up. Now in that 8 months, GrowWatt eventually sent me a new motherboard which I fitted. So the Palmister packed up after 8 months, so I took that off the wall, put the GrowWatt back on, flashed all the firmware on it, got it all up and running, perfect. In the meantime, so that's the GrowWatt's all running, charging batteries, running the house, no problem. In the meantime, Palmister sent me a new motherboard, so I stripped all that down, built it all back up, and I didn't bother testing it. I thought, it's going to work, surely. So, of course, the GrowWatt lasted for 10 months, and that packed up. Now, when I got back off my holiday, I was trying to get it up and running again, you know, resetting it and that. And I don't know what happened, but I was getting, you know, I was pissing about trying to switch it on and this, that and the other. And where the PV input comes into the house, I've got it on a big disjunctor, big old on and off. That then runs into the surge protector, which runs into the breaker, which then goes up into the inverter. Well, smoke was billowing out of the PV breaker, and I'm like, what? That should trip if there's, you know, going wrong. Anyway, I quickly switched everything off, and it absolutely destroyed that. So, oh Christ, here we go. Ordered a load of parts, got the Palmister all fitted back on the wall. The parts turn up, so now we've got the Palmister on the wall. I've sent GrowWatt an email. I'm going to have to send them another one tomorrow. I want to buy, because it's well out of warranty now, that one. So I want to buy a new motherboard so that we can have that one all up and ready for when this Palmister packs up. Oh, Jesus Christ. But the annoying thing was, when I bought the GrowWatt, there was very, very good reviews for it on the internet. People was only saying good things about it. And it did say 10-year warranty. In that first 2 years, obviously, they've had a lot of problems with these GrowWatt inverters. So when ours came to pack up, and I looked on the website, well, I got in touch with Allo Solar, where we bought it all from, and they said, oh, the shop warranty's run out, because that was 2 years, but the manufacturer's warranty should still be valid, because that was 10 years. Anyway, emails backwards and forwards of GrowWatt. I said, no, 2-year guarantee. I said, it was definitely 10 years, and I haven't got any paperwork to prove it, and I should have done a screenshot when I bought it, but I didn't. Anyway, backwards and forwards, emails after email, and then in the end, they said, oh, well, we're going to send you a new motherboard. Now, Allo Solar did offer to fit the new motherboard, but I would have had to have paid shipping there and then shipping back. It'd be France to France, but it's 12 kilos. It costs quite a bit. So I said, no, I'll fit it myself. I said, how much is it going to cost? They said, oh, it's free because it's our responsibility. And it's like, 1 minute you're saying it's out of warranty, next minute you're saying you're going to provide it for free because it's your responsibility. It's like, make your bloody minds up. So I'm yet to hear about this now. It was a different fault. But in the meantime, I've had a few people comment on my videos saying that it's quite possibly happening because we're using the grid to charge the batteries when the batteries are low and the sun's not out. And people were saying that they've got theirs off-grid only with no grid feed going in, or the grid goes through it, but it doesn't charge the batteries. It's set to solar only. So we've set this Palmister to do solar only, and when the battery gets down to a certain voltage, it should go to grid bypass, which should run straight through the inverter. Whether it will or not, I don't know, because the batteries haven't got that low for a while, because it's been quite sunny. But so I've been looking at new inverters. trying to find one that's got a good guarantee. Now, all the ones that had like 10-year guarantees, they've reduced them all down to 5 years. I'm just wondering if solar has got so popular and people are doing it themselves, and then there's been a lot of warranty claims, and they're sort of like reducing their their warranties. There are a couple of companies that do 10 to 12 year warranty on them, but those inverters you're looking at 2.5, 3 grand almost, which is like, it's a little bit steep for us at the moment. I mean, the Grow Watt was €900. Victron, I've looked at Victron because we were obviously looking for a replacement for the two ones that we've got. Yeah, it was about 1,800 quid, but I think Victron, they was only offering 5-year warranty, which you'd like to think that you wouldn't need the warranty, but we've needed warranty on 2 inverters. Whether it's something to do with the grid charging, I don't know. But say some people have commented on my other videos saying that when they've had it set to solar only, so that grid doesn't charge the batteries, they've run absolutely fine for years. So we're giving that a try now. You know how it is. That there's always something. But luckily, I'm glad that it happened the night before we was going away, because then I've got all the wire. I've got some big, fat, heavy-duty cable down at the house. So when it does do it, I can just, well, it's 3 screws on the consumer unit coming into the house, the main one, and then 3 screws on the one that powers the house. Because obviously we've got 3-phase electric at this house, so we've got 3 feeds coming in, and each feed's 4,500 watts. So we get, in France, you get 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 kilowatts. Obviously, the more you have, the more you pay. If you don't pay your bills, they can't legally cut you off, but they can drop your power right down to 3 kilowatts. Now, for us, that 3 kilowatts would be split over 3 phases. So you're going to get 1,000 watts per phase. So as soon as you switch the kettle on, bang goes the trip. So yeah, that's if you don't pay your bill. So we was on, our bill said we was on 6. I didn't even know we was on 3 phase when we bought this house. Our bill from EDF, it said that our tariff was 6 kilowatts. So the kettle kept tripping off. Okay, get EDF out. Let's see if we can get it up to 9 kilowatts. Anyway, the bloke comes out, took the cover off the box, looked at all these things. He said, "You're already on no," he said, "you're already on 9. Well, of course, 9 split over 3 phases. That's 3 kilowatts per phase. So if you've got the kettle and the toaster on, bang, trip goes off. So anything, anything over what each phase has got, and wherever you got the phases running. But at the time, I think the house was wired up so weird. Obviously, it's old French electrics. It was terrible. There was sockets and lights all on the same circuit, and it was probably quite dangerous, to be honest. And where they wanted an extra plug on it, they didn't run a new circuit or anything. It was just, let's just join it into that one. So yeah, there was like power sockets on the light circuit, and it was a mess. Anyway, Dad rewired the house for us. And that's when he said, "Oh, we're on 3 phase here." He said, "I don't really know about 3 phase." Anyway, we worked it all out. He looked it up on the internet. No problem at all. We're all wired up. But of course, obviously, this is true. Yeah, drink more beer, or just boil the kettle on the hob. We have got a whistly kettle. So yeah, they put us up to 12 kilowatts. Now, obviously over 3 phases, that should be 4 kilowatts per phase, but we get about 4.5. So we've got one phase runs the lights and Tina's oven, because I think Tina, she's got a big range cooker, which is a gas hob, 6 burners on the top, I think, and electric ovens. So combined, her oven is 11 kilowatts, but obviously we don't have all the ovens on at the same. I think they say 11 kilowatts, but that they take into account the burners as well, which are gas. So her oven and the lights are on one phase. Another phase runs the garage, so we're on the grid in the garage. And then the other phase runs into the inverter. When you look at the box, it does look bloody complicated, but once you sort of work out what goes where, it's quite straightforward. Someone did suggest that if EDF do like putting you back on single phase for whatever reason. Okay then, Ollie, are you going anywhere nice? You going out on a cheeky date? He's not answered. Yeah, so our electric box does look a bloody mess. So well, yeah, when it does go, we've got the 3 phases that it's in the kitchen, which then runs through into the other room. That goes into one box. Lidl's, can't wait. Keep away from those special bins in Lidl's, Ollie, because they've always got something in there to tempt you. It'll be some kind of a... Oh, Saturday, was it? Did it go all right Saturday night? I'm getting the rundown now, my brother's dating life. Yeah, Tina has finally conquered her fear of driving to St Iri-le-Perche. She never used to like going up there because obviously one of the streets was... Well, not obviously, because you don't know. But is this the one that we was talking about when I was at Mum and Dad's? Or is it a different one? I bet all our other viewers are thinking, Christ, what's going on here? Yeah, so there's a road up through St Iri-le-Perche and it gets a bit narrow and cars are coming towards you, and Tina never used to like it, so she used to drive all around the bloody houses to avoid this road. Anyway, action opened up in St Iri-le-Perche, and oh God. Can't keep up with you, Ollie. What happened to that other one then? So yeah, Action's quite a good shop. So Tina goes up there. Both. Oh God. So while she goes out, I was out with Dad when I was doing his car. We did his subframe on his BMW. Had to get some brake pipe, and we need some brake pipe ends. We trailed all over the place trying to look for some brake pipe ends, and while we was on our mission, we stumbled across an Action which was about to open up. See you soon, Ollie. Enjoy your trip to Lidl's. Don't be buying none of that Parkside shit out of Lidl's. Keep away from those special bins in the middle. When we used to go to Lidl's, I used to gravitate towards them. Tina would go off and do her shopping. I'd go, ooh, I'll veer off, have a look in the old bins, see what's in there. Go round to the little bakery bit, grab myself a Fougasse. I don't know if Tina's not mentioned if that Lidl's up the road here does Fougasse. But they used to be bloody lovely out of there. So yeah, Tina now drives to St Iri-le-Perche and does all her shopping up there. Obviously not all, she does alternates between over there and then Nexon. Nexon Super U, which is quite a good shop. Hello, Peppy. You alright, mate? Anyway, I'm just waffling on and talking crap now. So, I did say I was going to wind it down for 10 o'clock, so I think I will do that now. Yeah, so now I know that this works up here. I will check my data usage tomorrow when I get on the main computer in the house. See how much it used on the old phone. I've upped to my tariff. I upped my phone tariff on before we went away. And we're on regular mobile in France, pay as you go. So you just stick 20 quid on it. And it's the base one used to be 150 a month. So they take 150 a month off you, but you did have to pay for your calls and your texts, and data was quite expensive. The next one up is 490 a month, unlimited calls, unlimited texts, and 50 gig of data, which is why I thought I'd get up in the garage here and set up and try and do a live stream up here. So I will see in the morning how much data I've used. I might end up having to do more to use some of this data up, because as soon as I get to the house, it's on Wi-Fi, the phone, so it doesn't use data when I'm indoors. But it is handy for like you're out in the car and you want to use like Google Maps or something. I have got Osmond Maps on the phone, which is like all downloaded offline maps, so it doesn't need the internet. But like if you just want Google Maps or something, it's better to have your data switched on so that it updates. That's all right, no problem at all. I just thought I'd do the stream, come up here, talk, and that's a load of crap, as I normally do. And it was mainly just as a test to see if it would work. And it does seem to have done. So once I've got it sorted out, I've still no idea why that camera's not working. When I go here, let's go to main cam. Main cam's still frozen. Oh well. Well, we'll get it working for next time. I don't know what was going on then. But yeah, next time we might do a little project on the bench here with the overhead cam. You can watch what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm going to do. Could be anything. Or we could do Garage Chronicles. You know, I did the video on the old Garage Chronicles, and that was can't remember what I did now. Garage Chronicles. What did I do? France. Oh, what's it? Riding to France on a motorbike in the snow. Yeah, but I've got some more. I could do my life in motorcycles and how many crashes I've had. My life on the road as a tow truck driver. That was quite interesting, because there's some not so nice, but some pleasant stories. Growing up in rural Lincolnshire, I suppose, could be another one. That'd be quite interesting for some people. Just random stuff. You'd have to let me know what you want to hear next time in the comments. What I'll probably do is put out a community post or something suggesting that I'll do a live stream, and then I'll let you lot decide what we talk about. Yeah, we'll have to, at some point, Roger, make it round to your house, because you do live rather local. If I sent the drone up high enough, I could probably see your house from here. Maybe not, but, you know. Yeah. So, it was a very... It was entertaining, shall we say, the old tow truck job. I did it for quite a few years. I won't get into it too much now, but obviously I did see quite a lot of things. Some of them not so nice. Some of them quite funny. Probably got quite a few stories to tell about that. Yeah, but we'll leave that for another day. Perhaps that's what we'll do on the next live stream. I'll write down some notes, because I'll just forget, and then when I get talking, as you probably know, I'll start wandering off, and then I'll start talking about utter crap that's got nothing to do with what I was talking about. Yeah. So I'm going to sign off now, pack all this gear up, go back home. It's still a little bit... Oh, yeah. I've probably told Tina quite a few of the stories. I mean, a lot of them I probably wouldn't even talk about, like the nasty ones. You know, we used to work for. We was contracted to the police, so we used to go out to quite a few nasty crashes and stuff where we'd got there before the undertakers, basically, and it wasn't pleasant. And you know, you're recovering a car that's got bits of someone still in it, and it's yeah, I won't get too graphic when we start talking about that sort of thing, but I'll give you a rough idea. Yeah, I don't know when it'll be. I'll put a community post out, social media. I don't know where you all follow me on social media, but I'll put something out. I have got one story about. It's not funny, but it is. Well, I found it funny, but then that's probably my warped sense of humour. It's not funny for the bloke, and it's not funny for his family, but I will probably talk about it in that particular video. But he went missing. 6 years later, he was found. And he was found in a river. When I got there, the road was all shut off. Police had shut the roads. Of course, they let us through, all the lights flashing on the truck. I got there, parked up. Traffic cop was down there, because we used to know all the police in Peterborough. Oh, here's the Hobbit.
You stay here.
And I walked past something on the riverbank, and we used to have to give this form to the police, and they had to fill it out. Obviously, it was all official VAD form, I think it was called. He says, you can't do anything yet. He says, we're waiting for the co-op. And I'm like, co-op? Who's having their groceries delivered down here? He says, no, you daft twat. He says, they're the bloody undertakers, co-op funeral people. Oh, shit. And I'd only walked past what was left of him. It just looked like, oh. We'll get to that in that video anyway. There's a few stories like that. But so if you're squeamish, you probably won't want to come to see that video. But yeah, there's a few like that. Right, I think I've got my cue to wrap it up. She's come up to chivvy me along. So I'm going to sign off now. Thank you all for coming this evening. So we'll have to do it a bit more regular if it doesn't use too much data. It seems to work fairly well now that I've got it all sorted out. So I will sign off. Thank you all for coming, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now. And I've got to end the stream, and then I've got to do the other thing. Catch you in the next one. Bye! Yeah, take care, Gary. And yeah, go and buy that Westminster. Oh, here's Lorna. Bye, Lorna. Hello, Lorna. Bye, Lorna. Have you been here all night, Lorna? Quietly lurking in the background. I am going to sign off now, so I won't see your comment. Well, it might come up. But
You'll have to hang on there.
well, comments take forever to come through. Anyway, I'm going. Signing off. It's 10 minutes, almost 10 past 10. Past my bedtime.
I think the chickens were in bed.
Oh, that's all right then. 2 thumbs up. Catch you in the next video. Bye for now. Catch you soon, Craig. Come back for the next one. Keep an eye on the community posts and social media. Right, ending stream. I'm going. Look. She's giving me the bloody crack on. Right, well, I've got to... Right, bye! End stream. End.